My mom, working those 16 hours, I was kind of feeling sorry for myself. My mom was too busy. My dad wasn't there. We didn't have money for the simple little treats. I felt disillusioned and angry, and I was challenged, young man. And I felt like the weight of the world was accumulating on my shoulders. And that's why I love the Moniz family, because when I was 15 years old, I met John Moniz, a Chick-fil-A operator, a Citadel graduate, who came into my life right when I needed a mentor the most. And he started teaching me some very basic life principles. He said, Tim, having a job would be good, but creating jobs would be better. I like that concept, by the way. I really appreciate that lesson. He also said that one day you'll know the difference between your income that helps your lifestyle and a profit that can change your entire community. John taught me that anyone from anywhere at any time could rise above their wildest expectations and imagination. But first, I had to take responsibility for myself. He told me in the most loving way possible to look in the mirror and to blame myself. He said, don't blame your mom who's working those 16-hour days. Don't blame your dad because he's not around. He said, if you see the problem in the mirror, then you see the promise. If you see the obstacles, you uncover the opportunities. I chose personal responsibility over resentment. I became the master of my fate. But today, the Biden administration has us retreating away from earned success, aspiration, and accountability. He wants to make waitresses and mechanics pay for the student loans of lawyers and doctors making six figures. I believe them. This administration has taxed, borrowed, and spent trillions of dollars trying to replace a hand up with handouts. And all they bought us was crushing inflation that has devastated families like the one I was raised in. Like many poor families, we moved around a lot. By the time I was in the 4th grade, I had attended 4 different elementary schools. And as my nephew shared so publicly, wow, little Ben, my little buddy, gosh, darn, thanks so much for that. By the time I was a freshman in high school, I wasn't doing very well. As he said, I failed 4 subjects: Spanish and English, world geography, and civics. Now, for those of you not familiar with civics, civics is the study of politics. I will say this, though. I'll say this. Hey, hallelujah. Yes. I'll say this, though. I'll say this. After 10 years in the Senate, I am not the only one failing civics in the nation's capital. I'm not the only one failing civics in America's capital. But that is where I found my unhappy self. My mom was a tireless encourager, and she still is. But when she saw my report card that year at the end, come on, you said, come on. I wish that's what she said. But she had a different approach. She introduced me to a different form of encouragement. It was applied from right about here all the way down to here. Y'all know what I'm talking about? Okay, good. Well, then you realize I went to summer school, caught up with my class, and I never failed another subject for the rest of my life. Thank God for a good mama. I started college on a very small football scholarship at a Christian school. But that's where I learned that Jesus was my life, and football just a game. I found my true hope in the words in Ephesians 3:20, that God is able to do exceedingly abundantly above all that we ask or imagine. And I graduated, hallelujah, and I graduated with a degree in political science from Charleston Southern University. Home of the Bucks.